Domestic violence is a huge problem in this country. We've been heavily focused on it here these past couple of weeks because of some horrific recent cases. But what we all know is that if we want to fight this scourge, stop more women being killed, we need to shake up the way our court system fails to deal with alleged perpetrators. Time and again, women are killed by men who have previously threatened them, who have hurt them, even raped them, and who have been reported to police but are not locked up. Men who have been put on domestic violence orders have broken them to kill women. Men who have been bailed on serious charges have killed women. And men who have been given non-custodial sentences have killed women. The one thing politicians could do tomorrow to save more lives is to make sure that men who have intimidated or threatened women or who have violent records are not free to carry out their sickening threats. The Prime Minister chaired a national cabinet on domestic violence today, and it's the states who can do the most in this area, but nothing much happened on that score. Apparently, it's just too hard to have uniform national bail standards with a heavy bias towards protecting potential victims rather than worrying about the liberty of the alleged perpetrators. But the Prime Minister did announce something that can and will help. It's a package to provide grants for women escaping dangerous situations.
The government will invest $925 million over 5 years. It will be included in the budget in 2 weeks' time to permanently establish the Leaving Violence program so that those escaping violence can receive financial support, safety assessments and referrals to support pathways. Those eligible will be able to access up to $5,000 in financial support along with referral services, risk assessments and safety planning.
Look, it's not a silver bullet. It doesn't get to the core of the problem and it doesn't fix the weak criminal justice system that so often gets it wrong. But helping women in that hour of need, when the ability to stay somewhere quietly and safely for a couple of weeks might be the difference between life and death, well, that's a good idea and it's a reasonable step forward. But much of the rest of this event today was about politics, I'm afraid, creating the illusion of doing something. It was a national picture opportunity. The grants announcement could have been made any time, of course. It didn't need a national cabinet. The rest of what the Prime Minister had to say won't save lives. There was more on tackling violent pornography online, which is all well and good, but why just this? Why not take down the Islamist hate preachers? Why not take down those trying to incite violence and terrorism? Pretending you can fix society by cleaning up the internet seems to be a lost cause already. And the PM also keeps saying that all men need to change, that boys need more education. It's a pretty horrible thing to say when most women know that the men in their lives, their partners, their fathers, their brothers and their friends would put themselves in harm's way in an instant to protect them. That's just the way it is with most men, and it's an insult to most men to pretend otherwise. It's terrible to smear all men with the horrible crimes of a hateful and evil minority. It's also a cop-out because violent men need to be dealt with. And politicians need to make sure that happens. Fix the laws. Lock up violent and abusive men. That's your job. And it's a lot harder than pretending all men are to blame.